Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Jess is out, Lauren LaRosa's filling in, and let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Y'all feeling all right?
Yes,
ma'am. Blessed, black, and highly favored. How are you?
Doing well. All right, I'm a little tired because I was out. I had to, see Obama speak last night. Yes, former President Barack Obama spoke on Tuesday, the second night of the Democratic National Convention. He told the crowd that another Trump term would be dangerous and that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are the leaders America needs right now. Let's hear more from former President Barack Obama at the DNC.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse.
So Obama said Harris will get up every morning and fight for the American people. He also talked about Tim Walz flannel shirts, saying they don't come from a political consulting, adding he's the typical American, all-American coach and things of that nature. Obama also warned Democrats must remain focused on the next 11 weeks in order to beat Trump and added that one of his best decisions was appointing Joe Biden as his vice president. He said the two became, although they came from different backgrounds, they became brothers. Meanwhile, former First Lady Michelle Obama also spoke at the DNC on Tuesday night before introducing her husband, Barack, of course. She said that Kamala is bringing back hope to America with her presidential run. Let's hear more from former First Lady Michelle Obama.
America, hope is making a comeback. Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of 2 hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, Barack was solid, but I thought he was mid compared to Michelle Obama. Dropping the clues bombs for Michelle Obama.
She was out there spitting.
Man, she was spitting. He actually should have opened for Michelle. Michelle should have closed it out, if you ask me.
He said that. He actually did say, he's like, how can I follow that act? But
well, you shouldn't
of course, he added that she added that the Harris Walz ticket, with the Harris Walz ticket, voters are embracing new enthusiasm. And she said the U.S. is ready to turn the page on fear and division. Also yesterday at the DNC, I spoke exclusively with Martin Luther King III, who talked about how awareness of gun violence and gun reform is important to him, adding that his father and his grandmother were victims of gun violence. He also said this election may one day be the most consequential election in history. Let's hear from MLK III.
And what I mean by that is democracy is on the ballot box. We've had a candidate tell us that if you vote for me, you may not have, you won't need to vote again ever. That's a frightening proposition. And no one in this nation who believes in democracy should support a candidate who's touting a platform of that nature. But the other side of the coin is we have a vice president now who can and will become the president, who is talking about and living the concept of bringing people together. Every problem we have in this nation can be resolved, but it will never be resolved if we're at odds.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. 100% correct.
If you're wondering where Harris was yesterday, she actually jetted out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where she spoke to a packed house of about 15,000 supporters last night at Pfizer's Forum. And that was actually live streamed into the DNC. I also spoke exclusively with the mother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee, who said there's still much work to be done. Memphis Congressman Justin J. Pearson, who encouraged young people to vote. R&B singer Raheem DeVaughn, who encouraged artists to use their art in times like these. And Auntie Reclaiming My Time, Maxine Waters, who spoke about Black women leading the charge. So make sure you check out that coverage on the Black Information Network. And we've got all your DNC coverage as well.
And how much pressure is on the VP to deliver a home run speech, right? Because you've had some amazing speeches this week. You've had Hillary Clinton. You've had AOC. You had Raphael Warnock.
She gotta have us like
Michelle.
It gotta be like
turned up, right?
It gotta be a great church.
Kill it.
She got to take us to church. She got to turn it up. She got to have us in tears. She got to talk the policy. Like, she has to hit so much stuff.
A lot of pressure.
So eloquently.
What you just said, Lauren, is the biggest thing. I think she got to talk the policy because I feel like, last night we got hope, right? Like, but hope is the bare minimum. And I understand why it's important to have hope because hope is like a glimpse of light in all the darkness that we've been seeing. But now that we've given people the hope and we've given people the fear, it's time for Vice President Harris to bring it home by talking about actual issues, talk about tangible things that American people actually need, the economy, affordable health care, the border. Folks want to know how you're going to put money in their pocket and how you're going to keep them safe. That message that the VP is pushing about rebuilding the middle class, we need to be heavy on that tomorrow.
That's right.
Heavy.
Yeah. We'll see
heavy
tomorrow.
on policy tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you, Morgan. We'll see you next hour.
Yeah, we'll cover what's going on the other side of the aisle.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Jess is on maternity leave. Lauren LaRosa is filling in. And let's get back in some front page news. What up, Morgan?
What up? What up? So former President Trump, we want to know what's going on with him, right? He is counter-programming the Democratic National Convention with a visit to Michigan yesterday. Speaking from the small town of Howell, Trump focused on the issue of crime. Ironically, let's hear more from former President Trump.
For the past 4 years, the Marxist left has waged a vicious war on law enforcement in our country. They've taken away the dignity and the spirit. We want a crime-free America. We're going to stop violent crime in the United States.
You don't want to be there no more, man.
You can
hear it in his voice.
He just talking because he got to let them know he in class.
He want to take a nap.
Donald Trump is over it. He does not want to be the Republican nominee no more. He is hoping that Republicans do him the way the Democrats did Biden. He wants to be put out of his misery. You can hear it in his voice. Nikki Haley told y'all months ago, she said the first party to get rid of their 80-year-old candidate was going to win this election. That's why Democrats have so much energy right now. Republicans should have done the same. There is no way Donald Trump should have been y'all nominee.
He just wants to go fishing. He just wants to go fishing and play golf.
There's no way. You can hear it in his voice. He do not want to be there no more.
Nope.
I find it fascinating that he chose crime to talk about, being that he is a 34-time felon anyways. Meanwhile, his VP pick, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, appeared at a campaign event in battleground state Wisconsin that was focused also on crime. Vance challenged Harris to speak to press. Let's hear more from J.D. Vance.
Kamala Harris is going to run the campaign that she runs. I would say that I wish that she would do what I'm doing right now, which is talk to the media and actually answer some tough questions.
Yeah, so this comes also as Donald Trump says he would consider Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for a role in his administration. On Tuesday, the former president spoke with reporters following the campaign event in Michigan, where he said he likes and respects RFK and would probably consider him for a job with the administration if Trump wins. He also referred to Kennedy as a brilliant guy and said he'd be honored if Kennedy chose to endorse him, which has yet to happen. Now, speaking of people who worked for Trump, his former aide took the stage at the Democratic National Convention yesterday in Chicago. Stephanie Grisham showed her support for Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's hear more from her.
I saw him when the cameras were off. Behind closed doors, Trump mocks his supporters. He calls them basement dwellers. He has no empathy, no morals, and no fidelity to the truth. He used to tell me, "It doesn't matter what you say, Stephanie. Say it enough and people will believe you." But it does matter. What you says matter, and what you don't say matters.
Yeah, so Grisham, go ahead.
I am tired of the Trump is terrible rhetoric, though, because like it feels like a waste of time. Like, you're not changing anybody's mind. Like, Trump supporters are his supporters. They're gonna support him regardless. I don't think he's growing his base in any way, shape, or form. So those are the moments I wish that I would rather just hear people focus on policy and things that the American people actually need.
Well, they're hoping that they can, right? Like this morning, somebody called, he was a Trump supporter, and a lot of the Trump supporters have everything all wrong, right? They have all the policies wrong. They have what the vice president and president has done wrong. So people are trying to say, well, he's a liar, and I want you to know he's a liar, because people really believe what he says is the truth.
And there's also a lot of people who know he's a liar.
Right.
They know about the criminal convictions, and they don't care.
I feel like the bad boy persona works for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
ride or die for the Donald.
Yeah.
Like, we've been watching Trump since 2016. Like, there's nothing new you're going to tell us about him.
What's his edge right now?
Well, like, you don't have one.
Because before it was like he was the one. He was like speaking straight to the people. He was cutting through because of the stuff he was saying and doing. Now it's like
no energy, no vibes, no policies. No, not even no jokes. His jokes ain't even hitting no more.
I think he's kind of scared.
Ever since that assassination attempt. So going back, Grisham resigned from the administration after rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, 2021. She said she did leave it to the insanity. Grisham says she believes in Kamala Harris and added that Trump isn't who he says he is. She served in a number of roles in the Trump administration, including as the First Lady Melania Trump's chief of staff and White House press secretary at a time. Yeah, so other speakers that also took the stage last night at the DNC, Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, and Bernie Sanders. Today, we're scheduled to see Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz deliver his acceptance speech, along with former President Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, the men got to bring it. All the men have been very, very, very lackluster, except for Raphael Warnock. Raphael Warnock was good.
He took us to church.
Barack was decent. It just seemed very mid compared to Michelle Obama. Raskin was good, but all the ladies been bringing it. All of them: AOC, Hillary, Michelle Obama, Jasmine Crockett. Like, they've been bodying it.
It might just be a time for the women.
You're probably right.
But
that's why Barack should have opened up for Michelle.
Ben, right. I like that, Lauren. Okay, so but unrelated, let's switch gears a little bit. Unrelated to politics or the DNC, but still very important news. The former Minneapolis police officer convicted of killing George Floyd, that's Derek Chauvin. He is now in Texas. So yesterday, Chauvin was relocated from a transfer facility in Oklahoma to a minimum security federal prison in Big Spring, Texas. Now, there's no word on to why the move took place, but this does come on the same day that fellow former Minneapolis police officer Thomas Lane, who was also involved in that event, he was convicted in the Floyd case. He was released from prison yesterday, so not too sure what's going on with that in Minneapolis, but yeah. That's your front page news.
All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Follow me on social at Morgan Media, MorganMedia. And for more news coverage from the DNC and more, follow at Black Information Network and download that free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com. Talk to y'all later.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.